In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to completely change how you see work-life balance. And I'm going to show you how you can create your own version of work-life balance in every season of your life. Because the thing is, we have been taught completely wrong things about work-life balance actually means. Like it's nothing that you just randomly find or randomly create and then keep forever. That's just not it. And if you need an explanation, watch my video, 3 myths or 3 misunderstandings about work-life balance. The video is actually called Is Work-Life Balance a Myth? And I'll be talking about the 3 misunderstandings of work-life balance. Now, in my world, work-life balance is not something you randomly find. It's a skill, or actually a skill set that you can reapply and adapt to every season of your life. So today I'll show you the 6 core skills that you actually need to create your own version of work-life balance in every season of your life, no matter what's going on. So let's hop right into the video. The first skill to create your own version of work-life balance is energy management. Most people are talking about managing your time. But managing time is how you basically optimize your energy high phases. But you also have energy low phases. You are a human. We all have natural energy rhythms within our body that we kind of ignore when we only manage our time. Because when we manage our time, we think that every week, every day, every month is going to be the same, which we all know is not the case. When I'm on my period and I have period cramps, no pretty pink calendar or block in my calendar is going to make me more productive on that day. If I get a phone call from my mom that there's some problems with family or death or sickness or whatever, I'm not going to be my most productive on that day, no matter how often I turn on my Pomodoro timer. So managing time is very limiting in how we can optimize our productivity and efficiency. You gotta know when you have your energy highs and when you have your energy lows. You gotta know how you can manage your energy, because we do have a certain chronotype, a certain circadian rhythm, like how much sleep we need, when you have your most natural productive hours in your body. When you are a woman, you have your female cycle, which influences your mood and your energy big time. So all of these things have a say in whether you are in an energy high or energy low. Then of course there's more things like sleep, your relationships that you have, how you manage emotions, all of these things. If you want to learn more about how to manage your energy and how you can figure out when you have your energy highs and when you have your energy lows, if you want to know how to work with your natural energy, then definitely go to the link below. I have a free masterclass just about this skill because it's the most important skill. So managing your energy over time is the number 1 important skill for your work-life balance. Because when you learn to manage your energy instead of your time, you start to work with your natural energy and you start to work with your body and not against it. Let's move on to skill number 2, and that is knowing what type of rest you actually need. Most people think there's only one type of rest, which is, well, sleeping or napping or sitting on a couch and not doing anything. And that is not true. There's different kinds of rest, and I'm going to refer here to a video I created about the 7 different types of rest. Definitely watch this one because it's important to know which type of rest you need. There's, for example, physical rest. And even with physical rest, there's active and passive rest. Then we have social rest, emotional rest, spiritual rest, creative rest. All these different types and kinds of rest that you need throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, based on what you're going through in your life, based on what you're going through in your day. That will determine whether you actually have energy to do the work you want to do or not. That will determine whether you can optimize your energy high phases or energy low phases. You gotta know what type of rest you actually need to really be efficient and productive, and to also enjoy your life and be a fucking human. So the real skill here is not just to rest, it's really about recognizing what type do I need right now, what type does my body need right now, and giving it that kind of rest so you can actually be productive and efficient when it matters. Now, skill number 3 is not going to be a surprise, but I still have to say it. Boundaries. You gotta know when to say no and when and how to set boundaries. Because the truth is, most people know that they need to set boundaries. They just don't set them because they're scared of what's going to happen. They're scared of the repercussions. They're scared of the outcomes of what might happen when they actually set boundaries, when they say no. So it's about knowing the consequences of you saying no and being able to deal with them and manage them, and being able to be aware that most of these consequences are not even going to happen anyway. Like, most likely it's not going to happen that you're going to get fired from your job just because you say no once, or that your business is going to completely fall apart just because you say no to a client, right? So this is really important. It's boundaries, setting boundaries, keeping boundaries, sticking with them. Because when you set boundaries and you actually keep them up, that is where you create space for what really matters in your life. And guys, that's not always going to be work, right? What matters is family, connections, health, whatever that means for you, like whatever is more important for you. But boundaries give us the space to dedicate time, energy, money to stuff that really matters to us in our current season in life. Because, of course, that always changes. Skill number 4 is prioritization. Being able to really prioritize. And I know those things are not news, but are you actually doing it? Like, I want you to go back to your Google Calendar or your paper calendar or whatever you use right now and highlight all the stuff that actually doesn't move the needle forward. Like, which ones of your actions, which tasks are actually moving the needle forward in your calendar, on your to-do list. It's going to be a very small percentage, I'm assuming. 80-20, that's the rule. 20% are the high impact actions that create the biggest ripple effect. So know which ones are the 20% and which of the other tasks are just busy work. And then cut out the busy work as much as you can. I know you can't always cut it out completely. We're all humans. We all gotta do stuff that just, doesn't move the needle forward. It's just to like keep up things, keep up life, keep up work, keep up the amount of money that we need to survive. But what's really important is that you know the difference between high impact actions and low impact actions, and really being able to prioritize the high impact actions, the stuff that really moves the needle forward. Because this is about choosing what matters and being able to let the rest go. I know so many people who burn out with like 40, 50, 60 hours per week of working, and most of what they do is actually not even moving the needle forward. So that's like unnecessary work if we are really honest, radically honest with ourselves, really getting clear on what are the tasks that move the needle forward and letting go of the rest. Okay, guys, skill number 5 is probably the most, or is going to be the most surprising one, and is one of the most important when it comes to the skill set of work-life balance. And this is adaptability. Because balance is not fixed. It changes with your season. It changes with your capacity. It changes based on your energy. It changes based on your priorities. It changes based on what's going on in your mind, in your life, in your body, all of these things. So work-life balance is not the same. The version of work-life balance that you have now, or that you want to create now, is going to look different than the version when you are a mom, or the version next year, or the version in 5 years, or the version when you add a second business, or the version when you're going back to university, right? All of these things, they basically, those are different life seasons, right? They require different responsibilities, different priorities, different goals, different work-life balance. So adaptability is really important, because you need to be able to constantly use all of these skills that I'm telling you now to readapt what your work-life balance looks like in that season. So the skill is being able to check in with yourself. Like, what are my goals right now? What are my priorities right now? What are my capacity? What is my capacity? What is my energy? What is the season that I'm in right now? And readapt, refining your work-life balance and what it's going to look like in that season, and adjust it without the guilt. That's the most important, without the guilt, because life will change. Life will change. It's just going to happen. Nothing what you do now is going to be the same in months, years from now, right? So balance has to change with it. Balance has to change with you and with your life. So adaptability is one of the most important skills for creating your version of work-life balance. And here is the last skill number 6, and that is resilience and acceptance. We are all humans, which means we're gonna fuck up, we're gonna mess up. There's gonna be days and weeks that just won't go as we planned them to go, which aka most of these phases are energy low phases that we haven't really optimized yet. And with optimizing, I'm gonna create a different video what I mean with that, because I definitely don't mean optimizing in terms of managing time or adding another productivity hack to it. That's not what I mean at all. So even with all these skills in place, you're going to have days, you're going to have months where they're not going to go as you planned it. They're going to go wrong. You might fuck up, you might fail. But the difference between people who burn out and people who have a way to be productive in a sustainable way, to take their high impact action, to be ambitious, but still be a human and enjoy their life, is to accept the days where they're off in terms of mood, off in terms of energy, off in terms of, okay, today is just a shitty day, right? How you manage those days is going to make all the difference, also in your work-life balance. So being able to just acknowledge that and accept that there will be shitty days, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean anything about you, your worth, you as a human being, your skills in terms of your profession, and or you as a personal human being with a personal life. That will make all the difference, because then you can come back to your balance again and again without beating yourself up and without feeling guilty for anything, right? So resilience, coming back from failure, being able to come back from lower energy seasons without shooting over yourself, without beating yourself up, that is a really, really important skill, which you will need all the time in every category of your life. So here's how the 6 skills kind of work together. We have energy management, which is how much you have to give. We have rest, which is how you restore. Then we have boundaries, which is how you protect yourself and your space. And then we have number 4, prioritization, is how you choose what really matters. The 5th one is adaptability, is how you adjust yourself, how you adjust your balance. And the 6th one was resilience and acceptance, how you deal with low phases, how you bounce back when things get messy. And when you practice these 6 skills, that is how you can create your own version of work-life balance. That is how balance stops being a dream and becomes something you can actually live, and you can actually, again, readapt based on new goals and new seasons that are going to happen 100%. So the truth is, work-life balance is not something you find. It's not something that just happens and stays the same forever. You gotta use that skill set, those 6 skills. You gotta practice those, experiment with them, and create your own versions, plural, versions of work-life balance, depending on capacity, season, energy. And how that plays out in real life, I'm gonna create a video on that with strategic, practical examples in my life and all the different seasons of my life, and how I applied and still apply those 6 skills to create my own version of work-life balance that works for me, that still has me, be ambitious, take the high impact actions, but also doing stuff for the plot, enjoying life, and just feeling peaceful inside. All right, see you in the next video. Share this with a friend who needs to see this. Bye.